Hi everybody. The cost of childcare in America has gotten more outrageous every year. On average, a year's worth of childcare is more expensive than a year's worth of in-state college tuition. On top of these insane costs, your child's safety, enrichment, and your work schedule might not be compatible with the after-school program that you choose for your child. However, Sotros takes care of all of these issues. Sotros is a nonprofit after-school care program for children ages 3 to 6 that also acts as a community service class for eligible high school students.
Hi, I am Sandy, CEO.
Hi, I'm Anthony, the CFO.
I'm Yamali, CIO.
I'm Sierra, COO.
I'm Michael, I'm co-CMO.
I'm Hazel, CMO and Secretary.
So the way this program will work is we would like to transport the children from their local elementary school to their home high school. From there, we will have a supervised instructor ready to escort the kids to the classroom where the high schoolers will be waiting to interact and engage with your children. In the classroom, we would like to have both indoor and outdoor activities, mainly educational, but still having fun at the same time. Along with that, we would also like to include a program helping the kids with the subjects that they do in school, such as reading, writing, math, language. For those children who don't have the help at home, they would be able to have the help in this program.
Now going on to our customers. So a group of customers that we have targeted are parents who have children who are currently enrolled in preschool, kindergarten, and TK. These students usually get out of school early, with the earliest being at 11 in the morning and at the latest being about 1:50 in the afternoon. With these parents, they also spend on average about $40 a day on daycare services, which would lead up to about $14,600 a year. Another group of customers we have targeted are high school students. So many high school students are unaware that they need community service hours in order to graduate. And these high school students usually do not end up liking the community service that they work for. And adding on to that, most of these high school students do not have the time with conflicting high school hours or personal reasons.
So now moving on to our competition. Our competition is indirect, and our first competition is Kids Care. Kids Care is a program provided for preschool, kindergarten kids, and toddlers, and grade school. And a disadvantage about this program is that they have to pay a weekly tuition, and even though your child doesn't go that day of the week, you still have to pay the full amount. Another competition is after-school programs, and after-school programs only provide first graders through sixth graders, and they don't provide this program for preschoolers through kindergarten kids. And there are only limited spots, and if you want your child to be in the after-school program, you have to pay a fee and you have to enroll them before the school year begins.
So how are we different and unique from our competition? So the main reason that we're different is that we help 3 different audiences. Those audiences being parents, teens, and children. So the way we help parents is by ultimately saving them time and money from not having to enroll their children into daycares or things of that sort, and they don't have to quit their jobs in order to pick up and drop off their children from school. And another common problem that we found that isn't very known by the community is that parents that can't speak English and speak Spanish or Hmong or any other language, they can't help their children with their homework. So this is where the teens come in. The teens would help the children with their lessons and give them the extra push that they need in order to advance their education, while ultimately gaining community service. And for the children, you would save them by giving them a safe and positive environment and just giving them, like I said, that extra push in their education. So our social media, we like to make our social media posts bilingual so we can attract the bigger audience of those who are speaking Spanish and English. And we revolve our social media posts around the color turquoise and to attract the users and ultimately gain a bigger audience.
So now going on to our website. As you can see, this is our homepage. We wanted to emphasize the feelings of happiness and calmness, so therefore we use more of the colors turquoise and light green. Our logo is a tree because it represents education. Our slogan, it takes a community to raise a child, because we believe that together as a community we can help and solve this problem. Now imagine that you're one of those parents that are looking for a child care service for your pre-elementary children, or you're a high school student that is looking for community service. Now, having that in mind, we wanted our website to show how our nonprofit business can help them and how they can benefit from it as well. So these two banners shows how parents and high schoolers can go and click on these buttons and it will take them to the enroll page. Scrolling down, we also added a Meet Our Team section in where users can learn more about who we are as a team and how we plan to help the community. From there, we also added a check out our recent events, for example, the MVP, where our audience can see the type of events we participate in. And at last, we have our footer, where people can follow us on our social media, contact us on our contact page, and join us on our enroll page.
Okay, minimum value product events. So for our main goal was to reach out to the community, to different high school, elementary schools, and parents, and tell them who we are and what we're trying to do. So we also had MVP nights here at Latino School of Entrepreneurship. We will set up our booth and have information about what we are and what we do. Our main goal was to connect with the kids, teens, and parents, and the way we did that is that we will have activities for the little ones, the kids. We will either have, they could paint their hand and put it on canvas and get a treat, or they could just do a physical game and win a prize. The way that we connected with the teens and the parents is that we conducted surveys. So for the teens and the survey, we will ask questions such as, what high school do you go to? Are you aware that you need 20 hours of community service? At the end of the survey, we will summarize our program and ask, would you be interested in learning more about Sotros? 62.3% of the teens said yes. Now with the parent survey. In the parent survey, the first question that will pop up, it would ask them, what grade is your child in? This question was important because depending on what the parent will select, it will take them to two separate group of questions. Now, if the parent will select, my child is from preschool through kindergarten, it will take them to questions asking them if their child has trouble learning new things or has trouble in like learning skills. Now, if the parent will select 1st through 6th, it will ask them about their elementary school child or if they have a high school student at home. We also summarized the program and asked if they will be interested in learning more about Sotros, and 66.7% of these parents said yes. This shows us that the problems we see as a team are real problems in our community. So going to our TAM, SAM, and market share. There are 73,000 students in Fresno Unified School District. Out of those 73,000, there's 23,566 high school and pre-elementary students combined, and we are trying to reach out to 300 students. Our grants and donations. Since we are a nonprofit, we do not make profit. And the way that we structure our 3 years is since we will be working with schools, we want to structure, we're trying to reach in 1 year, we're trying to gather 3 times in grants and donations. So the way that this will work is that the first semester of the school, our goal is to reach $4,000 worth of grants and donations. The second semester will be $8,000, and during the summer, we're trying to reach $12,000 worth of grants and donations. So combined in 1 year, we're trying to reach $24,000 worth of grants and donations. We're trying to double this each year, and by third year, we're trying to reach $68,000 worth of grants and donations. So funds. With the help of Fresno Unified School District, we only need $7,000 and mentorship. Now, without the help of Fresno Unified School District, we need $28,000 and mentorship. The mentorship will help us guide us in our nonprofit. Now, with the use of funds and the help with school district, these funds will go into websites, school supplies, outdoor supplies, marketing, and extra expenses. Extra expenses, since we are working with 3 to 6-year-olds, these little kids need snack time. So that will include their snack, or any extra costs or expenses that the class will need, such as first aid kit, bandages for their owies, or wipes or napkins, whatever extra needs they need. Without the school district, we would include bus driver and labor, since there will be a teacher in each classroom to supervise everything, to make sure that the high school students are doing what they have to do, and make sure the kids are getting their extra education, what they have to get.
So lastly, here at Sotros, our mission is to provide exceptional after-school care to pre-elementary age students while also providing community service hours. Our program is designed to enrich these little kids through extra activities and lessons that these high schoolers will help to create and direct along with the instructing supervisors. So lastly, with your generosity, we can help to solve both of these big issues, not only in Fresno, but hopefully in the future in the Valley. So thank you very much.
You mentioned high school kids will work in the facility or work the program. Being as how it's 11 to 1:30, and the high school students also go to school, how do you plan to work through that? Because they also need to meet their educational requirements as well.
So this class that we designed is mainly geared towards eligible high school students, so juniors and seniors who do have their elective credits all caught up, so they do have a free extra class that they have. And I know at home high schools, kids are elected free periods, so that would essentially take the place of their free period. And so every 45 minutes we would have a new group of students. So for a class period, we would have a group of students and then transfer and then transfer. So to make sure that still they are getting their other classes as well.
So you have to use those students who are on track to graduate who have their
I may have not heard, but do the high school students receive any income, or is it just credit for community service?
No, just community service credit.
Do the parents pay anything for their children to be enrolled in the program, or is it all
No.
funded through the nonprofits fundraising?
Yes, the program is free for parents and we take care of all expenses.
How would there be parents that do not have interest on your reviews? Like you had 66.7% that expressed interest, and the remaining had no interest in a free program. Did they not have kids that were eligible for that age range, maybe?
Yes, so that rest of the 40%, most of those do not have a child enrolled in preschool or through kindergarten, and that's the reason why they're not interested or interested in this program.
So when you did your market probe, that was a funnel down through your market share to see like who's interested. But of the ones interested, you collected their names for your email or their email addresses. Did you try any of that?
No, we just wanted, our main goal was to see if the problems we saw is a real problem in the community, like to see if these problems that we see, the community service or the daycare, it's a real problem.
Validating the problem to
Yes.
provide a solution. Okay.
Did you mention the time frame of when this program would be running, like time in the morning for time that it ends, other than like you just mentioned the dismissal times between like preschool and such? Is there like an ending time?
Okay, so with this question, we have been thinking about this because, so this program will start at 11 since that's the earliest pre-elementary school student ends or dismisses from their school. We are thinking if after this will go throughout the school day of the high school student. Now after, if there's more kids that have to be picked up, maybe we're gonna create it into a club. Maybe the kids that don't have they're not have credits in order to graduate, maybe they could do it after school.
So wouldn't that go beyond the 11 to 1:30?
11 to 1:30, I think, is just the release time.
Yeah, so
The
you're thinking
dismissal
11
time
to...
of these students range from 11 to 1:30.
So it would go into the afternoon, okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
So would after school be like a high school after school?
Yes.
Which is what, 2:50, 3 o'clock?
Yes, around, the latest 3.
Because I was thinking the same thing, so like what percentage of parents would be working adults, parents? So would the program go to 5 or would it go to 6, that kind of thing?
Yes, and we were looking into that, and we're looking into that, and we do think that it could be a good club for after school and still earn their community service because it's like their own hours. And that'll also be beneficial for the students who do not have a free period and still want to get their community service hours.
So the current model, though, is like from 11 to 3, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Now, the target population that you're seeking is 300. So in working with the school district, you had mentioned with their help having a driver, how many buses are you going to need to support 300 students in this program?
So the 300 students are both high schoolers and pre-elementary students. So both of those are combined. So essentially, we were thinking of multiple school buses hitting at least 1 or 2 elementary schools to make sure that they can try to pick up as many elementary school kids at a time, but also meeting the requirements that the school district has set in place because they can't go over a certain amount of miles or a certain amount of time.
Do you know what the max like classroom size could be?
I believe for smaller kids, I believe that there has to be 2 supervisors for at least 12 smaller children, and then plus with the teenagers, depending on how many enroll in the program, then that would at least be about maybe 8 to 10 students, 8 to 10 high schoolers.
Typically, in my experiences, I do have children that would meet this criteria. Those people that are like servicing with them, watching it on them, they're like certified, or will this program pay to certify the high school students to be able to watch, teach, and educate?
Yeah, so of course we want to go through Department of Justice to make sure that the people that we do hire, the instructors, these teachers, don't have anything that would pop up that would alarm us. So of course we have to vet them first, and then of course we would also vet the high schoolers too to make sure that they are equipped and they do have the mental state and they do have the capacity to be able to deal with these kids.
So it wouldn't just be high school students, there would be like a supervisor on site that's
Yes.
actual trained.
Yes, just to make sure that the high school students are doing what they're supposed to and not just hanging out a free period.
Yeah.
So Fresno Unified also has an after-school program. And do you think that, because they also make money off of that as well, do you think, and I think you mentioned that program as a competition, do you think that would be an issue with trying to get into the schools, taking away from the programs that they have offered already?
No, because the program, their after-school program, like my teammate said, that it goes from 1st to 6th grade because they have the regular dismissal time of the school. Now these preschool, TK, and kindergarten students, they get out before, so it doesn't really like how you say bump with the after-school program because the after-school program is not made for them.
So you're meeting an area that doesn't have a solution right now. That was in your USP. You notice everything that's been said so far has all been questions, no advice yet. I think everybody's still trying to wrap their head around it. So you know, like usually there'll start to be some advice coming, but right now it's been questions, trying to understand it, myself included, because I really want to help with it. I think to go to your funds page in your investor packet, and if you want to go back to your screen go back. Forward, I guess, because basically I just feel like $7,008. You did the math, you did the breakdowns, but I don't see it starting a program for $7,000. And I don't mean that bad, I'm just saying, I think you guys have a concept that's really needed, and I think that it is a nonprofit, and I think in order for it to pay for the things you need, you have to do a little more work on your numbers. And that means that you probably don't know what's included in what you need.
Yeah. For example, even like facilities, even though it's Fresno Unified, even if they said yes, you can use them, there's still a cost associated.
Because they keep a janitor on
Even
the
if we
log
wanted to
page, yeah.
use this room, this space, even though for Fresno Unified, there's a cost associated with the lights and the janitor. Even if we wanted to use the buses, if Mr. Rodriguez is a field trip, it's not free. There's still costs associated that the school pays for. So even with their support, there's still costs associated with those things to get the buses to and from. So even if you had their support, they still wouldn't give it to you for free. They're still in charge of that. And that's just investigations that do on your end.
Yeah, for example, in Clovis Unified, there's a Sheboygan Hall out at Clovis North. And when any school wants to use Sheboygan Hall to put in a play or a program, even though they're Clovis Unified, they have funds to pay to use the hall that's part of Clovis Unified. You guys coming from the outside, there's going to be cost. And there's going to be insurance. that may be covered in your extra expenses, but it wouldn't be high enough. So if you have a mentor, I would say ask them for some help on what other things might be included. And don't be afraid of anything we're saying right now about these dollar amounts. Don't be afraid of them. As a nonprofit, you can raise the funds that are needed. You just have to know the funds that you need to raise the bigger amount. And it just delays your start until you can get that much funds.
You want to make sure that you have a critical mass of funds that for your operating costs. So in working with your mentor, for instance, I'm hearing you're going to use high school volunteers, but you're also probably going to be involving certificated adults as supervisors. They're probably going to want some compensation for that. So you need to kind of look at what is our labor model. How many hands on deck are you going to have for each day? And then that way you have an operating budget for payroll and salary.
But overall, I think it's a great idea. I think it'd be a very, very good start. It fills a need, and
I think you guys did it. Yeah, it's good demonstration, good sharing of speaking.
Packet was detailed well.
Packet matches everything on there and more, and all your graphics are good. It's a good presentation.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
What?
Good job.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you so much.
You guys can break now.
yeah.
Thank you.